small problem right now. I filmed a review on Sunday, edited it Monday, tried to upload it Monday night. It was rejected for length, which it seems real sporadic because I put a long one, then I put some short ones. Anyway, not getting into that right now. Movie Landmine. And then I just get on YouTube to check my messages, and the first 2 videos I see in my subscriptions are movie landmines. I haven't watched either Night/2020's review or Robot Adventures review, so I'm just going to do what I did before, condensed, and see if I can't get it under time. Without, and hopefully not be like these guys, which I have not watched. Okay, so right here we have Landmine. He is a good-looking figure, very well proportioned. His hands are a little large, but they're posable, so I can excuse that easily. One thing I don't like about him is, see right here on the bottom of his feet? His feet have wheels on the bottom of them, so I guess he skates around the battlefield kind of like Bone Crusher did. But on Bone Crusher, you had the option of not putting him on his wheel and having him stand on his toes. This right here makes it impossible for him to get in some poses, like a pose where one foot would be up off the ground. Running poses are kind of hard because the area that he's resting on is so narrow. But he has very free range of motion in all of his joints, so that's the only thing really holding back his posability. One thing, let me just stop the tape for a second. I mentioned in the 1974 movie Bumblebee Camaro review that the movie aesthetic looks like just a robot skeleton wrapped around a car, or with a car wrapped around it rather. And this guy is the perfect example of this. His arms, you could remove all the car parts. His back, you could remove all the car parts. His chest, the only car parts that are actually needed is the stuff on his legs, because the way this joint is, you couldn't support him just on the silver parts of his leg that are not car parts. Besides that, this is the perfect example of what I was talking about. A complete robot with only the car being armor. If you look down in there, you can see his robot parts. His collarbones, his breastbone, everything like that. And I really do like the way this figure looks. His hand has 4 joints in the hand. They have a thumb, the second joint of the thumb, which is very wide, but it has to be the seats in the alt mode. And his fingers are clawed, so very much he looks like he'd be a close quarters fighter. But this is his gun. What I usually do with it is just leave it pegged into its hole and swing it around and have it be a shoulder-mounted weapon. That's a common theme with my reviews, that if it can somehow go over the shoulder, that's where I'm going to put it. And my reasoning is this. If you were a giant robot, don't you think that you could probably somehow control this weapon, subconsciously? Why would you need to hold it and take away from your fighting abilities, your close quarter, when you could just, think and fire and aim and everything else? This weapon right here, though, you really can't aim. It would need a ball joint right there where it mounts, and it doesn't have that. But I imagine it could be customed. Now, one thing I forgot to mention when I had this set up for the close-up portion was his feet can pose back to front, so you can keep him flat-footed. It still doesn't help that much in his posability because, like I said, his feet are just so narrow. He looks like he has good, wide, long feet, but really, the part that touches the ground stops right here and starts right here. So he's only got about 3/4 of an inch of actual surface that touches the ground, and it is very narrow. I mean, the tip of that and the width of this tire is all he's got to support himself. Okay, so here you have his alt mode. He's like this weird grayish slate green. I can't think of a better name for it than that. You can see right here, I don't quite have this tire, this seat aligned right. For being a secret, top secret government organization, Sector 7 sure does like to advertise themselves. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 Sector 7 logos. His Autobot emblem. And really, there's not much that I can tell you about this, because y'all can see, y'all have eyes. I'm not gonna, detail you to death like Mr. Jesse / Matrix Prime does. One thing I would like to comment on, though, is these tanks right here. I highly, highly doubt a military vehicle will be driving around with propane cylinders. Pretty much what you'd have a propane cylinder in a vehicle for is if you're running propane injection on your engine, which is good on diesels. It helps the fuel economy, and also on off-roading, because if you're running carburation and you're climbing a steep hill, it'll cause the floats in the carburetors to hang up. You'll flood out and your engine will die. Coming down, same thing, and to extreme angles to the sides. Propane is a gas. It doesn't need floats. All it has is a proportioning valve, and that's pretty much it. That's how it runs. There's no fuel pump. There's no return lines from the engine. There's no nothing. It's very simple, but you're driving around with 2 bombs in your vehicle, and you can't just go up to a filling station and pump yourself, a tank of propane. So anyway, neat little figure. I like it a lot. I mean, it's very well detailed. You can see all the rivets and everything all over the alt mode. He's got suspension. Let's see if I can show it. But still, as much as I like him, I don't think I can give him over an 8. Y'all have a good day.
I am Orson Welles. You cannot defeat me. Nothing can defeat me.
I know exactly what can defeat you. Deus ex machina.
No, not the one thing in the entire universe that can destroy me. Not Deus ex machina.
Shut up and die. It's on like Donkey Kong.
No, that was not even supposed to exist in this world until this movie. How could you possibly know it will defeat me? No, defeated by Deus ex machina!
Well, shoot, youngin'. How could you have possibly known that random device that just magically appeared in this plot for this movie would possibly destroy him? Easy. Power of positive thought.
Well, you know what time it is now, right?
Of course I know what time it is. It's time for breakdancing.